We now join Rashida Lucas and T.P. Lucas as Judge Lynn hears their case.
Mr. Lucas, you have brought Mrs. Lucas here to court in order to recover either your 2000 Camry that you said you upgraded or the value of the upgrades that you put in the Camry that you say she took. And I know that you're wearing sunglasses, which usually is not permitted in a courtroom, but I understand that you have an eye issue, glaucoma, and the lights are bothering you. Mr. Lucas, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me how we got here and why it is you've needed to come to court to get this car back?
Well, Your Honor, everything, there was nothing wrong. Nothing. You know, everything was normal at my house.
Everything was normal?
Nothing wrong. Nothing. Rashida told me, baby, I'll be back. And she left, you know, this was back in November.
Mrs. Lucas, Mr. Lucas says you had a great relationship.
Yes, we had a wonderful relationship.
Why don't you tell me what was wonderful about it?
It was wonderful. We were like best friends. I believe, you know, he's my soulmate. Everything was fine except he was too nice. It's too nice. I mean,
how does one be too nice to one's wife?
He was too nice, like, it was scary nice. You know, it was like, you know the people it was like stalkerish nice, like you too nice, it's too good to be true.
Give me an example, because I cannot conceive of the world that you have structured for me here.
Right, I mean, you know, too nice, like, he would say, I love you, and it was like, I was like, okay, I was waiting for the punch, when you gonna kick me? It's scary. Some people just, you know, you could be nice, but you could be
Lucas,
too nice.
You're gonna have to do better than that. He told you he loved you, and this was a problem. You put up your hands like, when is the punch going to come? You've been married for 5 years. Has he punched you yet?
No. No, he's a wonderful man.
He doesn't punch you. He's a wonderful man.
Yes, I'm just not used
so
to
the
that.
I love you is too much for you.
It's not too much, but you don't have to tell me like twice a week.
Can't figure that.
So if I found you a brother that would run around on you, call your names, and smack you upside the head, you'd be in heaven.
No, he don't have to call me names or smack me, but...
He can run around on you.
No, not that either, but...
What do you want from a man, Mrs. Lucas?
Yes. I mean...
She told me that's what she wanted.
What did she tell you she wanted?
Well, she told me she wanted somebody to cherish her and don't run around on her. You know, all the things that a good man and a good woman should want out of each other. We agreed that because I had been married before, and my ex-wife, oh my goodness, she scared me. If I ever did it again, it was going to be better than any other marriage, and I made the promise for keeps. It wasn't to be playing around, you know, and if nothing's wrong, where are you going? You know, there are women that would pull her head off her neck for a guy like me.
I'm going to ask you one more time.
He made me gain weight.
Okay, how did he make you gain weight?
Because, I mean, now the man can cook, brother can throw down. But he cooked 4-course meals for breakfast, lunch, dinner. 2 o'clock in the morning, if I was hungry, he wouldn't fix me a sandwich. This man would make a whole meatloaf, potatoes, a gravy, vegetables, a big stupid cup of Kool-Aid. I go to sleep right on that. Get up in the morning, he done fix French toast, pancakes, grits, biscuits. So now I'm laying on food on top of the food I just laid on a couple of hours ago.
So your complaint is that this man cooked too often and too well, and
he made me gain weight.
Mrs. Lucas, have you lost your mind?
No.
I have women coming in here whose men are leaving them because they got too heavy. You got heavy based on his... They won't cook, they won't clean, they won't pick up the house, they're controlling, they're unkind. You have got a guy who cooks for you. You have got a guy who doesn't care what size you are. You have got a guy who, who tells you that he loves you without being prompted or looking for sex, and you're telling me that you want to leave him because he treats a good black woman, which we're going to have to qualify, like good black women, a queen ought to be treated. And what you're doing is taking a very I am a self-centered individual, and I don't appreciate what a man has brought to my table, so I'm going to make up some stupid reason to say what it is stupid. And I very rarely say that about anybody. Do I, Joe? I don't say things are stupid. Very rarely, because people have odd points of view. That's okay. But that's stupid. You need to grow up, Mrs. Lucas. Mr. Lucas, my understanding is that she took on a career you didn't know about.
Yeah.
Could you
Absolutely.
explain that to me? Because I didn't understand it.
I've been out here doing the best I can to get recognition as a comic for almost 17 years. And so after she leaves me, a mutual friend tells me that he saw her in a comedy club on stage. On stage. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But she never shared this with me at all. She never told me not one time.
So she became a comedian and didn't tell you?
Didn't tell me nothing. And every time I tried to talk to her about it, she didn't have time, or she didn't want to talk. She was busy or something like that.
She's supportive of your comedy career?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could, like, if she was closer to the stage, she has a distinctive laugh that I love. And I would hear her, and that would just motivate me to hit the crowd a little harder, because she made me feel good.
He's killing you, Mrs. Lucas. You know that over here. He's just killing you. I mean, he's just killing you.
But he
Mrs.
didn't tell
Lucas,
you about the shows that he...
Yes, you can tell me about the shows. Tell me.
Okay. The shows, I supported him with his comedy. That was fine.
Right.
But he also had a family at home. I already worked all during the day, going to school. By the time I come in, hey, bye, I love you, he's going out. This happened all the time. By the time he's coming back in, it's time for me to leave back out. So I wasn't seeing my husband
Well,
that
he
much
had to been
anymore.
spending some time at home because he made you gain 30 pounds by cooking.
Well, that was when he was there. But, I mean, because he cooked before he left. When I came in, there was food there. Or when he came in, he would bring me food at 3:30 in the morning.
When did you get the comedy bug? What did you tell him about it?
Actually, this is the first time telling him about it. I would
How long
change
have you
the
been
subject.
doing it?
A year.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
didn't you tell him?
Because I felt like a hypocrite. How, I talked about how he would be out supporting his colleagues. And now I see...
You understand his point of view.
I understand, but the difference is he had a wife at home. He didn't have to go to all those unnecessary shows all the time. I can go. I'm not at home with him anymore, so I go to different shows.
So you're complaining that he spent too much time comedy because he had a wife at home. Mm-hmm. But you can go out and be away and not acknowledge that you had a husband and a child at home.
Right, but now I have, I'm a teenage mother. I make my own babysitter, so now my daughter watches my other kids while I have shows, so she's watching them right now.
So everybody in your airspace ought to do for you, and you need to do for no one. Is that what you're telling me?
No.
She just didn't tell him.
You said that you have a 14-year-old
Yes.
that babysits.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
4 girls. 3 of them aren't his.
And did he take on the role of father for those 3?
Yes, he's a wonderful father. Excellent father.
To even those children that aren't his?
Yes.
You feeling what I'm feeling?
So.
You still want to be with her, don't you, Mr. Lee?
I'm still suffering from separation anxiety. It just don't make sense, because there was nothing wrong. I mean, if someone gave me everything that I wanted, which she did, and I was giving her in return, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Crazy.
And
That's
what do
she
you
going.
expect to find when you get there? What are you going to do about... You have a 1-year-old together.
Absolutely. And she ain't even on the bottle no more. Do you see what I'm saying? One, and
You
don't
have
even need
her?
the bottle. Yes, I have her. Ain't nobody taking my baby nowhere.
You don't have your 1-year-old?
No, he wouldn't let me. He's very overprotective
Well, how does
of
the
her.
14-year-old babysit the 1-year-old you don't
No,
have?
the 14-year-old babysits my 8 and 5-year-old.
Mr. Lucas, you've came here for the return of a car. Why don't you explain that to me? I mean, where is the car and what?
Yeah, where is the car? That's a good
Did
question.
she when she left in November? Tell
she
me
took the
about
car.
when she left, because I'm not understanding
Well, when
how
I
this
called,
thing actually
when she
ended.
left, I didn't, pay any attention till it started getting kind of late. I called her. She told me she was at her sister's house, and that's where she's gonna be, and she hung up the phone.
You're telling me she left like she was going to go get some groceries,
Right.
but was leaving you.
She left like she was. She said her exact
I'll be
words
right
was,
back.
"I'll be right back." This is the first time I done seen this woman since November.
Mrs. Lucas, give me that version of the I'll be right back story.
Well, I told him I was leaving. I told my sister I was on my way to Chicago. I had like 5 shows that weekend. So when I did those 5 shows, I got booked for some more. So I didn't go back. I told him I'd be right back. I didn't give him a specific time. But I did say I'll be back. Just
And you
me
took
in the car.
the Toyota with you when you left.
Yes.
I still had the
He
truck.
can't drive anyway. He can't see.
Well,
Can you see me? He can't see.
On what universe do you believe that's funny?
It's not funny, but I mean, he can't drive anyway. And he gave me the car as a gift.
Hey, you can't respect this man at home, that's one thing, but while you're in here, you will respect him and you will not make fun of the fact that he cannot sing.
When divorce court continues, Judge Lynn rules in the case of TP versus Rashida Lucas. But first, Rashida has news that leaves the courtroom speechless.
Well, where is the car?
The car is...
Divorce court returns with the case of Rashida Lucas, who left her husband to perform stand-up comedy and never went back home. And TP is suing Rashida because he wants to be reimbursed for the family car.
You say if you can't get the car back, you want the value of the upgrades. Tell me about the upgrades.
well, here's the thing. They sell a little chip. I upgraded that on the engine. I didn't like the wheels that were on there, so I bought rims and tires. And it didn't have a stereo at all in there because there was just a hole in the dash. So I bought a stereo for the car.
Why don't you tell me this, though? How much is the car worth?
About $5,000. And like I said, she keeps saying
But where
my
is the
car.
car?
The car is gone.
Gone where?
It got totaled.
How did it get totaled?
I was at work. We had an ice storm in Chicago. Somebody ran into it and tore it up. So I told them just junk it. There was nothing I could do with it.
So
You
done
just told her to junk it? You didn't...
junk the
There
car?
was nothing. There was nothing else they could do with it. It was like this small.
Did you have insurance on it?
Well, where's the
No, the
stereo?
insurance had lapsed.
Whose responsibility was to pay the insurance? Was it your responsibility to pay the insurance?
It's my responsibility to make the money. She write out the checks to pay the bills. At least she used to.
Was there money to pay the insurance?
It was money to pay the insurance,
But
but
you
I
get-
wasn't in Wisconsin anymore. He could have did that while he was there.
Yeah.
But it was
pick a
typically
surgeon.
your responsibility to pay the bills?
Sometimes.
Oh, I don't believe you. I believe it was your responsibility. Look at you. I believe it was your responsibility to pay the bills. Mr. Lucas, I'm sorry. You are a wonderful man, and don't let trifling women change who you are. That's all I'm asking. She's self-centered and only interested in her pleasure and her joy and what she wants. She will never give to you, and you have the right to have a woman who will give to you. That's my point of view. You are trifling and small-minded. When you are trifling and small-minded, you're going to end up with a man who's going to take advantage of that. I am sure that your choice in men, if it's based upon the silly things that you have told me here today, will put you in a place where you don't want to be, where you don't want your daughters to be. But you are so small-minded and trifling that you don't even put their interests ahead of yours. How dare you be so self-centered? Normally what occurs in a marriage is one person has the courtesy to tell the other person that they are leaving. At that point in time, they take the assets and they divide the assets between the two of them, and each of them takes half value at the assets. What you did, however, was dissipate an asset. In other words, what you did was you took one without his knowledge, absconded with it, and then because of your failure to keep insurance on it, that asset was lost. As a result, you are responsible to pay him the half of that asset that would have remained had you done the appropriate thing. Judgment in favor of Mr. Lucas in the amount of $2,500. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Well, if the kids miss you, I miss my baby. Just come back to Chicago. You come to Chicago, we can make it work.
I don't know. The judge should have sentenced you to life with me and the kids. That's what she should did. Put the gavel down and but that's all good. I don't know what to say to you.